This is my favorite way to wash a customer's vehicle. Hey everyone, it's Nick, DIY Detail here. I'm gonna show you how I do this for maximum efficiency, maximum time savings, and a maximum result. We're gonna use the tried and true rinseless wash. So we're gonna dilute rinseless wash at 256:1 or 1 capful per gallon. So I'm estimating about 3 gallons in these buckets. I'm filling the wash bucket. I've got a couple of legacy sponges in here. Don't forget the quad fold decontamination towel. We're gonna do a nice clean. And so we've got the wash bucket here. That's got my rinseless wash in at 256:1. Don't forget about the wheel bucket. Obviously, we've got the barrel brush in there and also the wheel and body brush. Just an amazing combination on wheels. So yes, we're gonna wash, we're gonna decontaminate, we're even gonna do a one-step polish. I know it seems kind of extreme, but I'm looking at this hood, right? And it's a relatively clean Volvo, but there looks to be like some water spot residue. And even from where I'm standing here, I can see like sprinkler water spot residue here. This person has a scratch pad sticker. She can go through whatever she wants to the local car wash. Listen, it's gray paint. It looks okay, but I really think we can deeply clean and brighten, right? Reduce the dullness, really brighten this paint up. And I wanna wow the customer today. I just don't wanna take 12 hours to do it. So follow me along the journey and I'll show you how we get it done. First thing first, we're gonna pre-treat the wheels. Iron remover from DIY Detail. I tend to overuse product. You know me. So just, 1 spray per barrel is a good amount. 5, and then for some reason, I always do 8. We're gonna follow that with all clean, diluted 15:1 in our IK foamer. Look at how purple these wheels are getting so far. So for a wheel, we start with iron remover, then we do all clean. We usually do a little bit of incredible suds, like a capful in our IK foamer. I didn't put any in here, so let's see, what does all clean look like when you don't really have that extra foaming from incredible suds? And yeah, that foams on pretty well. So even without incredible suds, you're gonna get a lot of nice foam. It's just not gonna cling as long without the incredible suds in there. So that was just a mistake on my part. Wanted to just showcase that you still get foam. The incredible suds though, just that capful can really give you that foam boost. Okay, once we've foamed on the wheels, we're now gonna apply rinseless wash diluted 256:1 in your garden sprayer, in your 16-ounce bottle. You could just dip it in your wash bucket, fill it up and spray away because it's properly diluted. I have a keg sprayer here, very efficient, very fun. The basic principle here is simple. I just like to stand somewhere, spray, and then be done with that panel. So I'll hit the top of this section, I'll go meticulously left, right, left, right, left, right, boom, and then I'll move over to here. And that's sort of the idea. I'm by no means the efficiency expert, but it's kind of like move your feet once and make use of that, right? And then when you move again, you take care of everything. The whole idea is we're not going back to like respray an area twice that we missed. As I said that, I noticed I missed this front side mirror. So folks, I say it, I make these mistakes too. Just a reminder, take your time, be meticulous. Actually taking your time will save you time. Sounds crazy, but just do it the right way, one time. Also, people have this myth. It's like they think incredible suds because you can see the white foaming action that it cleans better. No, rinseless wash cleans amazing. Rinseless, we're gonna rinse, then rinseless again, then contact wash, or foam rinse foam. So we have 2 systems, chemical rinse chemical, foam rinse foam. They're the exact same thing, just either incredible suds or rinseless wash. In this case, we're still gonna use free-flowing water to rinse this all, but right now the rinseless wash is emulsifying the nastiness on there, the grit on the surface that we showed you earlier. It's now being broken up, lifted into suspension so that we can safely rinse it away before we touch this paint with any wash medium. And I just did the other 2 wheels because I was gonna do those off camera and I had a little all clean left. So I just went ahead and sprayed the front bumper. Let me show you. So I sprayed all clean on it a couple minutes ago, so it's kind of drying and that's just fine. But I wanted to address some of these bug guts. I've never seen this vehicle before, haven't ceramic coated it, haven't protected it. And so I just wanted to make sure that anything on the surface was gonna get a little pre-treat from all clean. So we've got lots of chemicals working for us. We've got the rinseless wash on the surface. You can see just how that is gonna be held in suspension and rinse off with free-flowing water. That's the next step. Let's grab the hose. Again, not foam rinse foam, chemical rinse chemical, free-flowing water. Let's let the rinseless help us get this nastiness off the paint. Let me show you the difference between grit and traffic film. Okay, so you can see how, I already rinsed off this panel, but you can see how nasty this one is, right? Let's see what comes off and what doesn't. What comes off is grit. What's left over is traffic film. It's okay. We will agitate to remove the traffic film later. But just for visual sake, let's just kind of see what happens. So you can see the visual line where we just did rinseless wash and we rinsed, and where we did rinseless wash and we haven't rinsed yet. Whatever might be left, and I see like little orange dots here that may or may not be visible on camera, that's gonna need to come off in the decontamination. There might be darker things on the surface that don't come off. That's gonna be your traffic film, and you'll remove that with the contact wash. And if you don't remove it with the contact wash, we go to decontamination. But you just can see visually what's happening here. I know it's silver paint, it's hard to see, so I wanna give you a close up before I keep on rinsing. Now time to apply rinseless wash from the cake sprayer one more time. Making sure that I get the wheels. This second application of rinseless, it's gonna emulsify the dirt, but we don't really have any of the grit left, right? So we're just talking about traffic film that we've already worked on. So it will just help with lubrication. And we want lubrication always when washing. Why? Because we never want to scratch paint. So I'm just painting the entire vehicle with the rinseless wash here, including the wheels. Oh yeah, I can see a lot of the dirt on the roof is already brown, emulsified up again in the rinseless wash. And now it's just literally self-cleaning itself, which is amazing. Okay, let's get right to the wheels, shall we? Rinseless wash in the bucket. Got my wheel and body brush from DIYdetail.com. And I'm gonna pick the valve stem. And I'm gonna do the face of the wheels first. Because imagine if I did the barrels and I pulled out a bunch of gunk and then I drove it in with this brush. That would be no good, right? We want to treat the face of the wheels just like we treat the clear coat on the paint, because these wheels are clear coated. It's a plastic. We can scratch it. So we foam, we rinse, we foam. We rinseless, we rinse, we rinseless. And for this final step, it's very safe. Now I'm going to hit the tire. Notice how we got nothing from the barrel on the face of the wheels yet. Now is when I'm okay with a little stuff coming out. We have no idea what's gonna come out, obviously, of this barrel. But I start at the top, and you notice how dirty that got. I just turn it like 180 degrees, right? I get back in there, rinseless wash, what a great cleaner. I dunk it back in my wheel bucket, and it comes out clean. So I did these two. I can finish down here. Still got a clean side. And I'll do sort of the other half circle coming down. Of course, every wheel has a different number of spokes, right? But this principle applies across the board. So that's rinseless. That's the gunk that we pulled out of the barrel that we didn't want to drive in, right? So aren't we glad we just left it there? We'll just rinse that off. That's a really safe way to just be done with these wheels. All right, folks, let's rinse it off. Something you may have never seen on the channel before, and that's what I'm trying to do a little bit more of here on these Wednesday videos. Mist. Remember, it's a rinse aid, just like quick beads. You can spray it on and rinse off. We're seeing some flat paint here, some flat clear coat. Let's just give a few sprays of mist. It's probably about 4 sprays too many, according to Ivan. I can smell the sweet smell of C6 mist in the air. It's gonna give a little bit of protection, nice drying aid. Let's rinse it off. Look at that, nice water beads here. I rinsed until the frothing went away. That white frothing is gone. These are now good. I'm gonna go and do every single wheel, and then we'll work on the paint and we'll dry these later. There's a saying in golf, drive for show, putt for dough, right? A long drive is beautiful. It's worthy of bragging rights. It's something that can stick with you for the rest of your life if you just hit a pure driver right down the middle, good distance. It's a beautiful thing, right? Well, they say drive for show, putt for dough. The money is made in the short game. And here I'm talking about incredible suds or soap for show, rinseless for dough. If you are trying to get the most bang for your buck in terms of time, rinseless wash all day long. It cleans just as well as incredible suds, guys. Lubrication's amazing. You can see where you've washed. I'll show you that in a second. Incredible suds. There's a time to put on a show. If I'm mobile, I might want to put on a show. Foam rinse, maybe I'll do rinseless, do a hybrid. I may want to put on that foam show, but in my garage, in my shop, there's no need for that. Rinseless all the way. First the wheel faces, then the barrels, then the paint. C6 mist, amazing stuff. Sometimes I do things because they make sense, sometimes I do things because they feel right. To me, this feels right today. I'm gonna use a perfectly safe brush in my wash bucket just for these horizontal panels where I'm like, no, this is definitely gonna save me time. You know, the perfectly safe brush is actually so safe that if you have a really dirty car, and I would argue like a new customer, if you're a detailer, that could be considered a really dirty car, right? Because it's never been detailed by you. I'm gonna dunk this back in the rinseless wash bucket about every panel. So I just sort of called that a panel on the roof there. But as it relates to the perfectly safe brush, I mean, if it's a super clean car, this is so non-aggressive that like, yeah, I'll use it for that, a super clean car. But when it comes to like a vehicle that I have never seen before, I'm gonna use the Incredible Wash Mitt if I have Incredible Suds probably, or the Legacy Sponge. So on these vertical panels, I'm gonna use the Legacy Sponge, but I know it's gonna save you so much time because I don't have to reach. You guys, the perfectly safe brush is amazing. Thousands have been sold. People are so stoked on this brush. Yes, it is safe as long as you practice safe wash practices, right? And in this case, that is the chemical, the rinse, and the chemical. It's usually even more clear when you're using the Legacy Sponge, but you can see where we've washed and where we haven't. Rinseless wash helps me keep track of where I've been. I get distracted a lot. That's just kind of who I am. I'm working on it. But the rinseless lines don't lie. You know where you've washed. Just like that, I've done the horizontal panels. Now it's time for the Legacy Sponge. Two sides of this sponge, no pressure whatsoever, designed exactly for this purpose, rinseless washing. One side of the sponge is dirty, but I have another side as well. I just want to be meticulous with this. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start here and I'll work my way back around the vehicle. I know I already did this, but I can get a little more precision with the Legacy Sponge, or at least in my head I can. So that's done. Redundancy on the windshield. I'm OCD like that. Yep, and the red sponge comes out perfectly clean again. So that's how rinseless wash works. I've already done that roof, so I'll just consider this a panel. Maybe I'll add this in as a bonus. Switching to my black side, this is the exact same foam, folks. It's just a visual clue. It's a nice red and black colorway to go with our colors. And in this case, a very dirty panel. So I'm gonna redunk this back in my bucket. We teach that as you're rinseless washing, if the residue comes up brown like you can see here, you wanna do one more pass with your Legacy Sponge. So re-dip it into your rinseless wash bucket, and now it came out clear. That's another visual clue of how you're cleaning. It's why I absolutely love a precision speed wash. Rinseless wash is a must-have. Always nice to keep your wash bucket in front of you. Just makes life a little bit easier. You don't have to go in reverse, back to your wash bucket. Just do it one time, right? We're talking about efficiency. Get past the section, hit every area, flip your sponge. No pressure whatsoever on the Legacy Sponge. That's how it's designed to be used, and it cleans incredibly well. When you've done enough detailing, you can kind of hear when things are contaminated, and I hear the contamination on this Volvo paint. Not sure if you can hear that. I can hear it, I can see it. So decon is a huge step. It's really gonna brighten and deep clean this paint. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget the perfectly safe brush, amazing on the front bumper. Unlike with the Legacy Sponge, we want our Legacy Sponge on the verge of dripping. We want our perfectly safe brush sopping wet with rinseless. So we're loading this brush up. It releases everything when you put it back in the bucket. You know, microfiber can grab it and hold on to it. The brush and the Legacy Sponge release all that dirt, whatever's left on the paint, into your wash bucket. If If you've used it, write in the comments below. Do you like the Perfectly Safe brush? For me, I use it on every detail just about. Okay, forgive the talking hands, I'm gonna do a quick demo on the decontamination process. Now, if for some reason this dried up on you, you can either take your Legacy sponge, wet it over the paint, or respray it. We want lubrication though, so if it looks dry, give yourself more lubrication before we decon. Rinseless wash on the paint. Rinseless wash bucket is where I got this decon towel. One spray of iron remover on the paint, one on the towel. I place the towel exactly where I spray the iron remover. And then I'm just looking for visual cues and auditory clues. Less scratchy under the surface, and those little specks that were in the paint, they looked like little kind of orange particles. They're gone. Now usually I'll let this ride a little longer, but this is very contaminated and I'm getting great results. So if you're ever like, should I flip the towel? Just flip the towel. The towel resets once you put it back in the rinseless wash bucket. So every 4 panels or so, I'm putting my towel back in the rinseless wash bucket. I just see this little orange dot. I'm not using any pressure whatsoever. I'm just using a lot of passes. And I'm watching it slowly diminish. I know this seems crazy, but if you use a lot of pressure, you can mar the paint. If you use no pressure and a lot of passes, the dot will disappear. It's literally disappearing before my eyes. I know this seems crazy, guys. Sometimes you do a lot of passes with no pressure and you watch the miracle happen. Folks, that's how you brighten and clear up paint. Sometimes you're in the real world and there is an orange dot that doesn't go away for a while. Do not put pressure, stay the course. Is it me, or does this paint already seem like it's getting brighter? Like, I swear, it's just a nice clean can do wonders. Just like everybody else, I hate cleaning roofs, but on principle, it must be done. Decontamination on the roof, super important. A very neglected area of most people's vehicles. This is where the clear coat usually fails first. I have a theory about this vehicle that it gets something sprayed on it at the car wash after every wash. There's this thick film on all the windows and on the roof everywhere. So there was some water beading, some self-cleaning was already visible on this paint when we just rinsed it. And that was impressive, and I'm just trying to figure out, okay, what are the habits of this owner? I don't know a lot about her, but I do see a scratch pad, so I'm thinking she goes to the car wash, maybe she adds the protection at the end, and that's what I was just kind of moving through on windows and glass. So a reminder, do decontaminate your glass and windows. Hugely important. She also complained about visibility out of the front windshield. She's like, it's really foggy lately. I'm wondering if it's not buildup here too. So when we go ahead and polish this paint, whatever's on here, we will get off. Really tacky and sticky all over the paint. It needs to go. So we're using iron remover to get rid of those embedded contaminants that get kicked up off the road. Remember, your paint is a plastic, and sometimes your plastic gets hot. Contaminants get kicked up off the road. They get bonded to your clear coat. They don't come off in the regular wash. So that's why we have this decontamination towel to help pluck them from the paint, the glass, the plastics. We use iron remover as the lubricant. It's actually a rust converter. And this is the most efficient way to do it. I've done it all. I've sprayed all over the vehicle. You use so much more iron remover. It's such a pain in the butt. This, one spray on the towel, one on the panel, and you're just not using much at all. Like, I might use an ounce a car. I'll bet Ivan uses even less. What I like about having a system, because I never used to as a professional detailer before DIY detail, and I was just all over the place, and I got good results, but there was no way I could replicate it. Whereas here, if I'm having a stressful day, I don't have to think, okay, which iron remover am I gonna grab today? Which all-purpose cleaner should I use? Ooh, which polish am I gonna try today? It's just like so simple for me. Our products work. Use them as a system, as a recipe, and you'll get the desired outcome. Now I am working this towel on the panel, and there are some stubborn bonded contaminants. So I'm gonna show you a couple of spots on this vehicle, including on the lowers where I saw some tar, where I'm gonna use a different product just to see what happens. Always decontaminating the plastics, the front lights, scrubbing any of those remaining bug guts that may have been off just plucking them ever so lightly off the paint. Next up, I'm gonna go ahead and rinse and use water spot remover, but after the rinse, we're gonna inspect a few spots. I saw some tar, I stopped with my decon towel. You do not want the decon towel getting full of tar. And so that's where tree sap remover comes in. Let's take a look after the rinse and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm guessing y'all can see these, right? Just these little itty bitty things of tar there. There's a little bit right there. There's some right there. Anyways, I'm gonna take tree sap remover from DIY Detail. I guess you could say that's a pretty generous amount. Just wanna make sure nothing dries on me, and I'm just gonna test. See, and you're watching all of this just disappear onto the towel. I'll use a fresh side. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So yeah, you just don't wanna get this all up in your decontamination towel, because it can kind of gunk it up, and that's when you're like, why is my towel marring? Well, it actually got gunked up by tar. If you see tar, just stop, do it this way. We'll rinse this one more time to get rid of the residue from tree sap remover, and then we're ready for the next step. Big spot right here. Yep, and it just dissolves. So, something hit the side of this car. We're coming to the rescue, salvaging our decon towel, making all these little dark marks totally disappear, which is amazing. That, folks, is how you deep clean paint. This is really fascinating. So there's like no water behavior here, and there's a lot of water beading here. We have water spot remover. Think about this as like your mineral cleanse. And what I wanna do is, this is way overusing product because I'm filming and shooting with the trigger. Anyways, I'm gonna put the camera down. I'll show you how to apply water spot remover and actually the best way to make it work. I started on the rear hatch for demonstration purposes. I have a little wind blowing in the shop, so it's spraying in the air a bit, so I'm kind of going closer to the panel. But I typically like, these kind of glancing sprays. Just covering the vehicle, we're gonna agitate it in, make sure that we really cleanse the minerals off this paint. Okay, now I'm taking the magical, the amazing level 1 towel from DIY Detail. I'm gonna dunk it in my rinseless wash bucket, and I'm gonna rub that water spot remover ever so gently in every single orifice of this paint if I can, the glass, the plastics. We're gonna work that water spot remover in, rinse it off, and that decontamination stage will finally be over. When you're done with your water spot remover towel, rinse it out under water. There's some lactic acid in the water spot remover that doesn't play well with other stuff you might be washing with, other wash media. And then I've got a bucket there, and I'm actually gonna be soaking all of these towels with Renaissance detergent, which is available at DIYdetail.com, so you can get the best detergent in the game, powered by the House of Rags. Amazing stuff. It's actually a Detail Co. Microfiber Wash now is the new name. And I'm gonna put some of that, so as I use towels that might get some ceramic in them, they all go in the Renaissance bucket, and they all go to the side, so I can launder them later. Yep, look at that water beading now. So we're restoring this paint back to its bare self. After this, we can do great work. Nothing's gonna be in the way of our polishing and protecting. This is the way to deep clean your paint. And just like that, folks, we're ready to dry. I am partial to the DIY Detail drying blanket. I grab it every single time. But if I ever have a second option, I'm choosing the Baby Goat, I think, or the Goat Mini, the Goat Junior. Anyway, it's just a really nice sized towel from the House of Rags. Just wanted to shout out the boys at the House of Rags for their awesome microfiber wash. They're great towels. They power our towels, and this one's an awesome one. I do have a giant load of laundry with 5 drying blankets going right now. Coating job coming up in a couple days, and I did an emergency laundry session. This is what I've got sitting around. I'm so glad I have it. This is where you absolutely could go ahead and grab your drying aid of choice. Envy ceramic sealant would make this paint look amazing. I know I'm being a little selfish by polishing it. I'm probably doing it for my expectations and not the customers. But I want to evaluate this paint after and see if there are still water spots. There might not be, There's just small etchings that I see. I'm just really tempted to want to polish those out and just wow the customer. And because I've decontaminated this so well, it's actually incredibly easy to dry, even without a drying aid. Again, I think there may have been some existing protection product on there, but I'm just folding this towel into fours where I can. No pressure. Do love a drying lubricant, but when we're gonna be polishing, that will get in the way of our polishing process. We don't want that. We just want bare paint. Even after drying the whole vehicle, there are still drips. That's where our friend, the drip catcher towel, comes in. This is also available at DIYdetail.com. Of course, the mirror is gonna drip for hours. I always love to get a little Envy ceramic detail spray on the face of the wheel. For that final wipe down, providing lubrication, a little extra gloss, a little extra protection, that Quick Beads Envy ceramic sealant stack will turn heads, folks, on paint and wheels alike. Now, as I look at this paint, I can't figure out what combination of pad and polish I'm gonna use. Can you take any guesses? Follow me along next Wednesday. You'll see that video right here if it's already published on how I polish in a very quick amount of time and protect this paint. I'm doing this for money. I want the results to wow my customer. Check that video out right here.